What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And I'm reviewing and giving you the results and showing you some screen captures of a 2023 Italian Olympus Pro, where Theo Leguerrier wins it, qualifies for the 2023 Mr Olympia on the last weekend when you actually can qualify. And it was a close one. The top four, in my opinion, was all pretty close. Theo looked great. Honestly, he really, really did. It's one of those things that when you see these screen captures, you may think that one of these other guys was better or whatever, but Theo was really, really damn good. And in certain shots, like the side chest and a few others, I was like, Theo just has too much roundness. He was very, very conditioned as well. This was a first year show as well, so shout out to these guys. It was overall a pretty well-run show. I mean, I had no real issues with it. The only thing I didn't like is when they have a bit of red in the background, but I mean, that's pretty much every show these days. They seem to have like a bit of a clashing background, but it wasn't too bad, as you can see on the screen right there. You can still see these guys pretty well. The lighting was good. Overall, pretty impressed. And let's go through this pose by pose with the top four, and I'll show you some individual shots afterwards. So from the left, we've got Alfred Chiriac. I mean, he looked really good. You can see the biceps there on the front double bicep, crazy. I mean, some of these other guys had bigger legs from the front and also from the side as well. So maybe that hurt him a little bit. Doesn't have as much like waist to lat ratio or shoulder to waist ratio as some of these guys. But as you can see, second on the right, Theo Leguerrier, who won the contest, I would pretty much put him in fourth on this pose just because he is sort of pulling his shoulders up. I'd like to see him like drop them down and out if he's able to do that, because I think it makes him a little bit more up and down, the fact that he's pulling them up like that. I like the elbows up, but I don't like the shoulders up like that. And his biceps just aren't as hard as some of his other body parts. Tim Budesheim on the right looked pretty damn good in this pose. He was very, very hard, very, very dense. People complain about his lack of, what would you call it? I suppose like taper, like, you know, his waist being a bit wider and not having as much lat. But honestly, when you look at poses like this, it's pretty damn impressive. So I don't know who I have winning that one, but, you know, it's Tim, Roman, maybe, and Alfred. Actually, I don't know if he was 100% in this pose, but when it was in motion, he definitely looked better hitting that one in motion rather than, you know, just statically seeing a photo. Now, the front lat spread, I have Tim Budesheim. I've actually told by all the German followers in the live stream, and shout out to everyone who did join me live for that one. Tim Budesheim, I mean, originally I had Theo winning this pose, but then I had Tim, so I'd probably go Tim, Theo, Alfred, and then Roman on this one, or Roman and then Alfred. I'm not too sure because Roman wins it from the waist down. Alfred beats Roman in the upper body, so take your pick. Probably Roman maybe on that one. Now let's go from the front lat spread and let's move into, I believe we've got the side chest coming up next. It'll be up in just a second. And here we have the side chest. So guys, let me know what you think of a side chest. Now, as you can see, their feet, you got Roman and Alfred, they're right on the line. And then you got Tim creeping forward a little bit, and then maybe Theo a little bit more. And just going by this shot, and that's all we can go by, I have Theo winning the side chest. He's just so complete. Theo's on the far right there. Looks really good, and he was in really good shape. It's just that he's right next to Tim Budesheim, who literally is inside out, dry as can be. He improved dramatically from the actual first, from 2 days ago when I saw the first update. So he looked really damn good. Alfred looks pretty damn balanced on that one. So I'd probably go Alfred or Roman in third and fourth for that one. So let's move on from the side chest and let's move into the back double bicep. Now, Alfred's not 100% in that one, but you get a decent idea because he's sort of, I think, just coming out of it. And you see Theo Leguerrier, I thought he improved a huge amount from that last show where he actually placed second, placed really, really well. I thought he was just so much harder. Like, he looked drier, just more conditioned overall. And I thought that he had a huge amount of confidence on stage as well. So that really shone through. And guys, let me know what your opinion is on the results. And I will go to that. Actually, I'll open it up right now. I'm running a poll on who you thought should have won the 2023 Italian Olympus Pro. I'll bring up those results quickly now. So 67 votes so far, so get your votes in. only 24% of you had Theo winning, and who actually eventually went on to win the show. 30% said Roman, 40% saying Tim, and 6% saying Alfred. So I'll check back in on those results very, very soon at the end of the video. I can see them changing before my eyes. But on this one, I think that Roman just doesn't have enough going on in the middle of the back for me, for him to win this one. But you look at the glutes and the hams when he had them turned on properly, and it's just ridiculous, that level of conditioning. Tim, greatly conditioned, but does lack in the back a little bit there. Theo looks a little bit more narrow than when he's moving, because when you see him hit these poses, because he is taller, he sort of really sticks out because he's round as well. So when you see him moving, you're like, whoa, and your eyes are sort of drawn to Theo. So I would probably say Theo on that one, probably followed by Alfred. Then I'd probably say Roman, then Tim, just because I think that Roman has a little bit more in the back. When you see the back overall, you see he's got a bit more in the back. Tim's got a bit more in the shoulders and the arms. In the legs, you probably say Roman as well, obviously based on the glutes and everything. So yeah, for me, that's how I have that one playing out. Now let's move on to the rear lat spread. So we've got here from, I mean, you look at Theo on the far right, he looks really, really good. I will be showing 5th place as well. I do have a screen capture of him. So Theo on the right, he's extremely hard. He looks extremely pleasing. He's got that fresh looking muscle. And I think that Theo, like if he brings the same level of conditioning in 5 years' time, then it's going to be drier as well. So I don't think Theo has to worry about conditioning in this contest whatsoever. It's just that everyone in this top 4 was inside out, which we rarely get to see. I was just super, super impressed. Honestly, I think probably all 4 of these guys would have won shows, some shows this year, being in the US or Canada or wherever, and they would have just done really well, because I think they were probably a little bit underrated, like we're saying, because the Legion's the same weekend and everything. So yeah, and I've got a story about that one coming up too. Side tricep, you can see Alfred Chiriac second on the left, tricep inside out. You can see the lines all through it. It doesn't show up perfectly on here, but you can sort of see it. You've got obviously Tim Budesheim, who is just not hitting this shot comfortably, but you can see the striations in his chest, and that side leg is just so dry inside out, like crazy. And then you got Theo there on the far right, who I thought was the most pleasing in the pose, and I thought probably won it. So when you go pose by pose, Theo really does pretty well. He's up there in almost every shot apart from a front double bicep. So I'd probably say on this one, probably Theo. Roman from the side, his glutes and hams are just insane. I'd probably say Theo, followed by Alfred, followed by Roman, followed by Tim maybe, or Tim and then Roman. Something in that sort of order. So let's move on from there, and let's move into the ab and thigh. Now, I do want to preface this one and say I probably had Alfred in this one. They said it's fine to hit the pose like that. Well, Tyler Mannion came out and actually said that. So when he hit that, his quad was fully striated. The abs are awesome. Just a really strong shot for Alfred. So I probably have Alfred winning that one. I've got to tell you, like in this screen capture, Tim looks very damn impressive. Very impressive. So I don't know. It's tough. But then you look at Theo on the right. It's like this one is tough. I mean, I'd probably have Theo beating Roman on this one, but when Roman was moving, you see how dry he is. So it depends what you weigh the most in that pose. So that one's tough. Let's move on to the next one. And I believe we've got the most muscular next. So yeah, we've got the most muscular here. You can see how crazy Tim Budesheim is on the left, but obviously they went the shape, because you look at Roman there in the middle, on the middle right, he looks really good when he hits his most muscular directly front on. But when he moves to the side a bit on this one, you can sort of see he's a bit more slight in that upper body, but he's nailing that pose there. Honestly, he looks like one of the best on stage. But Alfred Chiriac on the right, I'd say just about wins this one. He looks really, really good in that shot. Very, very good. And Theo Leguerrier, he's not getting dominated by anyone. You could even make an argument for him winning this pose as well. So it's a very, very, very close contest. And I will get to your questions at the end of this as well. And I will get back to that final poll result. So get your votes in. Also, give the video a thumbs up. Smash that like button as well. Be much appreciated. Anyway, let's go through a few of the individual shots and 5th place finisher. So this is actually Leandro Perez, because many Brazilian fans would be wondering what he looked like. And it's so funny because I mentioned he looks like Derek Lunsford all the time. And he's the same as well as Derek Lunsford in terms of being harder and more shredded from the back and a little bit softer from the front. So he's got that same thing, same muscles, same everything. And this is Theo Leguerrier. You can see how good he looks in that front lat spread and how stacked he is. And the fact that he's in great condition too. Back double bicep, that looked really good, but he looks even more impressive when he gets in that lineup, as you guys will probably notice, compared to when he's just standing individually, because he is a taller bodybuilder. But you can see the glutes there. They are just inside out, shredded, ridiculous. Very impressed with Theo Leguerrier. You can see there, the conditioning is there. For anyone saying that Theo's not in shape, it's ridiculous. All these top four were in tremendous shape. Probably the most conditioned top four I've ever seen in my life, I'd venture to say, in terms of how, since I've been following bodybuilding, which is actually quite a long time now. So super, super impressed. That side chest is very, very good. And honestly, if you saw probably the Gilco footage from this one, you go, wow, these guys are shredded. Roman Fritz, what more is there to say that I haven't said in previous videos? But look at the tricep, the cuts through them, crazy. And you can see his hamstring is on there. So you can see there's a big difference when he has his hamstrings and glutes both on, because you can see striations through both glutes. It looks so much different. And that front double bicep, I've got to be honest, that he's a little slight in the upper body, but he's so pleasing that it doesn't really matter that much. Like, obviously a bigger guy's going to do better, but yeah, really, really good. And we've got Tim Budesheim here, and you get to see some of the crazy conditioning in just a second when he turns to the back. I mean, that's not, well, you get to see it there in the glutes and everything, but that back lat spread has definitely improved. The back doubles where he struggles a little bit more, but had Tim placed higher in this show, no complaints from me. And look at that. You can see in the back how he's just got that one arm back, and you can see all those striations going up his lat, like that inside part of the lat. And you can see it there. It's just like deep lines, like what's in Roman Fritz's glutes is in Tim Budesheim's back. It's absolutely crazy. People mention the V-taper, and I can understand that. And then you got Alfred Chiriac, who actually wasn't sort of hitting the pose 100% here, but you can see the crazy biceps. Lacks a little bit in that, you know, like I mentioned before, the waist to lat ratio, but he doesn't here. I mean, he looks really good here. Very, very impressive. Great condition once again. And like I mentioned with his whole top four, had he done some of these other shows, he would have been qualified for the 2023 Mr. Olympia. He's a very, very good bodybuilder, and always seems with these European shows that it's incredibly close between all of these guys. It just always seems very, very close between the top guys. And you can see his abs there as well. Alfred's abs are awesome. You can see the striations through the pecs as well. And we're seeing a different level of quality to some of these guys lately. You don't always, that's for sure I was talking about earlier. The ab pose, I just think that beats all the other guys because it's just too impressive. That's his money shot, really. And this is our 5th place finisher as well. Before we wrap this one up, I want to get this guy's name. I believe it's Matthias or Matthias Holle. That's what someone told me in the chat, and I saw someone else say either the same name or something very similar. So he just got his pro card and is competing. And does he not look a huge amount like Neil Curry in terms of his physique? Like you look at the midsection and the abs, like when he used to hit a lat spread, it just looks so similar. It was like eerily similar. So, and this guy has some great calves, great quads, legs are just wild, small waist, and then he's got those ballooning round muscles on the upper body. He just needs a bit more of it on the upper body. But top 5 in your first pro show is absolutely sensational, and he was in great condition as well. So here we go. Someone said here, Matthias Holweck. Thank you so much for that. Much appreciated. Anyway, I'll quickly go through this. Darren Randy says, what time is Legion prejudging? Now, Legion prejudging is on right now as we speak. And unfortunately, NPC West Coast, aka Cinepodium, copyright struck my channel because I was going to do a live watch along, and which means I'm not obviously showing the live footage, but I would obviously be going live while the contest is on, and I got a copyright strike from that. I've emailed them at this point, and asked them to remove that copyright strike. And I believe I mentioned as well that I've been promoting the show, been promoting the pay-per-view rather, and obviously promoting the show, doing a preview and stuff. So, and also mentioning the athletes in the lead up to that show as well, and was mentioning that I was going to cover it. So I feel very bad because those athletes thought I was covering the show as well and doing my live watch alongs, and they can get a quick opinion of what's going on, and they get a bit more coverage and all of that. And they normally get tens of thousands of views, and I point people towards purchasing the pay-per-view. So incredibly disappointed that I'm not able to do the prejudging and the finals for that, and I'm even a little bit too nervous to do a show afterwards, like a wrap-up video, because if that gets copyright struck as well, then it could start to get me in trouble. So obviously, wish I could cover the Legion. I cannot cover the Legion. Check out some of the other bodybuilding channels. They may well do it. I have warned a couple to say, just be careful, just heads up, just with what happened with mine. And this did actually happen to a video, I believe, last year or a year prior, where I covered the Legion. I think it was 2 years ago. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, and hopefully they get back to me and they take that strike down, because obviously I want to promote bodybuilding and bring you guys the best in all this. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. And leave in the comments as well, what did you think of this show? Did you agree with Theo Leguerrier winning this one? Did you have someone else like Tim Budesheim, Roman Fritz? Did you have Alfred Chiriac? Or did you have the newcomer from Germany? Let me know in the comments. And that's it from myself. So for Xavier Wills, this is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.